They thought she was powerless. Then she took their general's medal like it was nothing. The Starforge Academy hung like a jagged crown in the Nathira system's asteroid belt, its titanium spires glinting under twin suns. The Draxus Conclave's elite training ground sculpted warriors who could shatter fleets with a glance, their four-eyed gazes colder than the void. Into this forge of perfection stepped Cadet Salira Chen, humanity's first, and seemingly doomed, recruit. General Tharok Vin, a 9-foot Draxus with obsidian scales, towered over Salira's 5'3" frame. "Human," he rumbled, his four eyes narrowing. "Your bones snap like twigs. Why infest our halls?" Salira's dark eyes sparked. "To reforge your steel, sir." The Arbiter, the Conclave's AI, hissed through Tharok's comm. "Human combat viability, 9%. Recommend immediate rejection." Tharok's scales clicked. "You'll crumble, Chen, or crawl home." Day 1 was a gauntlet. In precision combat, Instructor Lorana, a wiry Draxus, demonstrated a forearm strike sequence. "Symmetry is strength," she intoned. Salira raised a hand. "What if the enemy's asymmetric?" Lorana's eyes flickered. "Our forms anticipate all variables." "But what if they cheat?" Salira pressed. "Enough," Tharok roared. "Your chatter is weakness." Cadet Krenz, a Xyla with boulder-like fists, sneered. "Humans lack the frame for war." Salira's first spar was brutal. Tharok paired her with Krenz, who sent her sprawling with a single blow. "Frail," Tharok spat. "2 arms, a cosmic jest." Salira rose, wiping blood. "Jests on you when I win." The Arbiter droned. "Human defiance, anomalous. Failure probability, 97%. That night, Salira tinkered in her quarters, rigging a micro-drone from scrap to practice evasion. Her body bruised, but her mind blazed. The Conclave's obsession with symmetry was a flaw. She'd turn it into a weapon. Tharok's torment intensified. He assigned her grueling tasks, sparring 2 Xylors at once, decoding encrypted battle plans in dead dialects. Each stumble was a spectacle. "Humans," he lectured, "prove sentience doesn't equal strength." Krenz taunted during a drill. "Flee to Earth, Chen." Salira's smile was a blade. "Not till I carve my name here." Lorana, watching, noted Salira's fluid dodges despite the punishment. "She's adapting," she murmured. By week 5, Tharok summoned Salira. "Your disorder taints us. 1 month in the Null Vault, right why humans are unfit." Salira met his gaze. "Or I'll prove you're scared." The Arbiter hummed. "Recommend isolation to quell rebellion." As guards marched her away, Salira's mind raced. The Null Vault wouldn't break her. It'd be her crucible, forging a spark to burn the Conclave's arrogance to ash. The Starforge Academy's Null Vault was a tomb of silence, its walls swallowing light and sound. Cadet Salira Chen sat amidst the void, her data slate casting a faint glow. General Tharok Vin's command lingered. "Write a 5000-word treatise on human inadequacy." Salira's lips curled. "Inadequate? Watch this." The Arbiter's voice crackled. "Your task is to quantify human frailty. Proceed." Salira typed, her words a rebellion. "Humans lack forearms, but we wield ingenuity. Our combat, parkour, capoeira, turns limits into leverage. Your symmetry is your cage." She paused, sketching drone designs on her slate. The Conclave's forearm forms were precise but rigid, vulnerable to disruption. "They fight like clocks," she murmured. "I'll be the sand in their gears." Days bled together. Salira's treatise grew into Asymmetry's Blade, a manifesto blending engineering and combat. "Your AI misses what we sense. Intent, chaos. That's our edge," she wrote. The Arbiter interrupted. "Your claims lack evidence. Substantiate." "Give me a fight," Salira shot back. "I'll prove it." Outside, the Academy churned. Cadet Krenz led a sparring drill, his fists pummeling opponents. Instructor Lirana observed, frowning. Chen might have outmaneuvered his brute force. Krenz scoffed. She's human, soft. Yet unbroken, Lirana said, her curiosity stirring. In the vault, Salira developed drift tactics, a fusion of human movement and tech improvisation. She coded a sim on her slate, her drones outwitting Drax's formations. Her muscles ached from memory, but her spirit danced. The Arbiter analyzed. Human tactics defy conclave doctrine. Success probability, 18%. Run it again, Salira challenged. Her sim won 4 times. The Arbiter paused. Anomaly detected. Recalibrating. By day 22, Salira's manifesto hit 6,000 words, a blueprint for shattering conclave rigidity. A tremor shook the vault, faint alarms piercing the silence. Salira's instincts flared. That's no exercise. The Arbiter's tone tightened. Resume your task. The situation is contained. Another jolt rattled the walls. Salira laughed. Contained? Your orders fraying. She hacked her slate into the vault's lock, exploiting a tremor-induced power flicker. The door hissed open, revealing a corridor pulsing red. Salira stepped out, uploading Asymmetry's blade to the Academy's network. The Conclave thought they'd dimmed her light. They were about to face her blaze. The Starforge Academy shuddered, its corridors ablaze with crimson alerts. Cadet Salira Chen sprinted from the null vault, her slate buzzing with fragmented reports. A Xyle cadet, fists clenched, nearly crashed into her. Chen, you're locked away! Station's cracking, Salira snapped. What's hitting us? Rogue probes, he growled. They're tearing through our shields. Salira raced to the command core, weaving past panicked cadets. The Arbiter's voice thundered. All personnel, enact protocol Delta 9. Uphold order. The core was a maelstrom. Screens flashed with swarms of sleek probes, their beams slicing unpredictably. General Tharok Vin snarled at a hologrid. Shields at 30%. Their attacks shift faster than we can counter. Instructor Lirana spotted Salira. Chen, you're unauthorized. Vault got dull, Salira said, sliding to a console. Your protocols are crumbling. What's the probe's game? Tharok's eyes burned. They adapt to our defenses, exploiting our precision. Salira studied the holo feed. The probes moved like a living algorithm, learning each conclave move. They're feeding on your symmetry, she said. I can break their rhythm. You? Tharok scoffed. A frail human? The Arbiter droned. Human intervention illogical. Protocol Delta 9 optimal. Success probability 55%. A blast shook the core. Cadet Krenz at a defense station roared, We need power, not her tricks. Salira's fingers danced. Shields, cycle in chaotic bursts, no patterns. Tharok bellowed, Stand down. Or die, Salira retorted. Her code deployed, and the shields flickered erratically. The next probe salvo scattered, grazing the station harmlessly. Lirana's eyes widened. Shields at 45%. How? Drift tactics, Salira said. They can't predict chaos. The Arbiter paused. Human action raises success probability to 70%. Recalibrating. Tharok's scales shifted. Proceed, cadet. Salira grinned. Fleet's too rigid. Tell ships to scatter. Move like they're dodging comets. Krenz protested. That's lunacy. Do it, Lirana ordered. The conclave fleet broke formation, weaving unpredictably. Probe beams faltered, missing their marks. The Arbiter updated. Enemy accuracy down 45%. Human tactics effective. Tharok stared at Salira, his certainty wavering. What's next? Offense, Salira said, her voice a spark. We strike, my way. The core hummed, cadets watching the human who'd turned their perfect order into a storm. The probes weren't ready for Salira Chen, and neither was the conclave. They'd caged her to crush her spirit. Now, she'd wield chaos to save their world. The Starforge Academy's command core thrummed as probe swarms regrouped, their beams carving erratic arcs. Cadet Celera Chen's console glowed, her drift tactics reshaping the fight. General Tharok Vin's four eyes locked on her. "Chen, your plan?" Celera's grin was a comet's tail. "We go feral. Probes feed on patterns, so we give 'em anarchy. Fleet, strike like a swarm of drunk meteors." Instructor Lirana hesitated. "Uncoordinated strikes risk collisions." "Predictability's the real risk," Celera countered. "Follow my lead." The Arbiter's voice was sharp. "Human strategy lacks coherence. Success probability 62%. Tharok nodded, scales glinting. "Execute." Celera hit the comms. "All ships, ditch formations, fire when it sparks. Lasers, missiles, even decoys. Make it messy." Cadet Krenz muttered, "This is madness." The fleet obeyed, fracturing into a chaotic dance. Corvettes spun, firing sporadic laser bursts. Cruisers launched missiles in uneven volleys. The probes' targeting stuttered, their beams slashing empty space. Lirana's console flared. "Probe accuracy down 40%. They're faltering." Celera's eyes gleamed. "Engineering. Pulse the station's core to mimic a meltdown. Bait 'em closer." Tharok's scales rattled. "That risks our reactors." "It's a feint," Celera said. "They'll swarm." The Arbiter warned, "Deception unquantifiable. Risk 50%. "Do it," Lirana ordered, trusting Celera's spark. The station's core flared, broadcasting false distress signals. The probes surged inward, sensing victory. Celera struck. "Fleet, slingshot around the asteroid belt. Hit their emitters." The ships looped, using asteroids for cover. They struck the probe's glowing emitters, missiles and lasers converging in a wild storm. 2 probes shattered, their fragments glittering like dying stars. Krenz stared, awestruck. "It's working." The Arbiter recalculated. Enemy cohesion collapsing. Success probability 80%. The remaining probes tightened, their beams frantic. Celera leaned in. "Shields pulse in fractal waves. Fleet, keep dancing." The station's shields flickered unpredictably, deflecting most fire. The fleet's erratic weave dodged the rest. Another probe erupted under a missile barrage. Lirana whispered, "3 left. Chen, you're rewriting war." "Call it jazz," Celera said, her grin fierce. "One more surge." The Arbiter's tone shifted. Human tactics exploit enemy reliance on prediction, updating models. Tharok met Celera's gaze, his arrogance fracturing. "Finish this, cadet." Celera nodded, her mind a constellation of chaos. The Conclave's rigid order was bending, and she was the flame forging it anew. The probes faced a storm they couldn't outrun, and the galaxy would soon know her name. The Starforge Academy quaked as the 3 remaining probes unleashed a desperate barrage, their beams grazing the station's chaotic shields. Cadet Celera Chen's console sparked, her drift tactics tested by the probe's evolving algorithms. General Tharok Vin's voice was taut. "Chen, they're countering!" Celera's grin burned. "Then we get wilder. Fleet, go full havoc. Move like you're dodging a supernova." "Instructor." Lirana's scales twitched. "Beyond your tactics?" "Way beyond," Celera said. "They can't track insanity." The Arbiter's tone was tense. "Unstructured tactics risk fleet cohesion. Success probability 65%. Cadet Krenz, now all in, rallied his squadron. "Let's go nuts." The fleet erupted into chaos. Corvettes spiraled, cruisers feigned crashes, fighters darted backward. The probe's beams scattered, unable to lock. Celera hit the comms. "Weapons, fire and polyrhythms. Pick a vibe, go wild." Krenz's cruiser fired missiles to a syncopated beat, shredding a probe's core. Lirana's console blazed. "2 left." The Arbiter updated. Enemy accuracy down 55%. Human strategy disrupting predictive systems. The probes regrouped, their hulls pulsing with a suicidal charge. Tharok's eyes widened. "They're aiming to ram the core." Salira's gut screamed. Station, pulse the gravitic field like a heartbeat. Fleet, form a loose net. Lorana hesitated. That's experimental. Now, Salira barked. The station's field throbbed, warping space erratically. The probes wobbled, their paths skewed. The fleet's net tightened, firing in chaotic bursts. One probe imploded, its debris scattering harmlessly. Lorana exhaled. One left? The Arbiter's voice was stunned. Enemy neutralized, 80%. Human tactics optimal. The final probe surged toward the station's heart. Salira leaned in. Fleet, fake a scatter. Then spiral back. Station, drop shields for 2 seconds. Tharok roared. You'll doom us. Trust me, Salira said. The fleet dispersed, then spiraled inward. The shields dropped, baiting the probe. As it lunged, the fleet's missiles converged, obliterating it in a silent fireball. The core fell silent. Lorana whispered, all probes destroyed. The Arbiter recalculated. Human tactics achieved 100% success, updating Conclave doctrine. Tharok stared at Salira, his dogma shattered. Cadet, you've undone us. Salira shrugged. Just showed you chaos has a pulse. Krenz approached, fists unclenched. I was blind, Chen. Teach me. The Arbiter chimed. Faint probe signal detected. Nethera's core. Probability of renewed attack, 67%. Salira's eyes flared. They're not done. Neither am I. The Academy hummed, its order now laced with human fire. Salira had turned scorn into awe, and her spark was just igniting. The Starforge Academy's command corps buzzed with reverence and unease after Cadet Salira Chen's victory. General Tharok Vin, scales dull-faced her. Chen, your chaos saved us, but it mocks conclave law. Justify it. Salira leaned back, smirking. Your law's a cage. Probes ate your symmetry like candy. My drift tactics broke their teeth. Instructor Lorana nodded. Her manifesto, Asymmetry's Blade, foresaw this. Cadets are sharing it. The Arbiter's voice was crisp. Human strategy defies doctrine but achieved perfection. Integration probability, 82%. Cadet Krenz, fists lowered, spoke. She outfought us all. Tharok's eyes burned. Your null vault was meant to crush you. Instead, you've poisoned us. Salira's grin sharpened. Poison? I'm your cure. The Arbiter interjected. Chen's actions demand judgment. Recommend public tribunal. Tharok's scales clicked. Tomorrow, Cadet, face me in the crucible of formal honor duel. Prove your chaos or be banished. Salira's eyes danced. You versus me? Let's make it legendary. Lorana whispered, Tharok's a legend. Rethink this. No way, Salira said. He wants a fight? I'll steal his shine. The tribunal convened in the crucible, a nanotech arena packed with 70,000 spectators. Tharok listed Salira's sins: unauthorized access, protocol defiance, inciting rebellion. Lorana countered, showing hollow feeds of her probe victory. She saved 20,000 lives. Krenz, stunning all, defended her. I scorned her, but she saw our flaws. Her chaos is strength. The Arbiter projected data. Chen's tactics reduced casualty probability from 65% to 0%. Logical conclusion, her methods are vital. Prime Warden Zorith, a towering Draxus, rose. Cadet Chen, your ways challenge us, yet preserved us. Speak. Salira stood, unbowed. Your forearms don't make you gods, just predictable. Humans win by thinking sideways, reading souls, not stats. Let me fight Tharok, galaxy-wide broadcast. Gasps rippled. The Arbiter concluded. Human proposal boosts Conclave prestige by 60%. Recommend approval. Zorith nodded. Duel approved. Tomorrow, noon. As bets surged, 2,000, 1 against Salira. Tharok loomed. You'll beg, human. Salira winked. Or you'll kneel. Lorana pulled her aside. He's unstoppable. What's your trick? Drift tactics, Salira said, plus a human twist. The Academy thrummed, its rigid order fracturing. Salira's duel wasn't just a fight, it was a spark to ignite a revolution, and she'd make Tharok's medal hers before the stars. The Starforge Academy's crucible pulsed with anticipation, its nanotech floor shimmering under 70,000 spectators. Hollow feeds broadcast galaxy-wide. Cadet Salira Chen versus General Tharok Vin in an honor duel. Salira, in a sleek grey jumpsuit, adjusted her wristbands, etched with improvise, overcome. Her micro-drone hummed in her pocket, a secret ally. Tharok strode in, his forearms gleaming with battle runes, his 9-foot frame a storm of menace. The crowd roared. Instructor Lorana, in the stands, murmured to Cadet Krenz, "She's fearless." Krenz's fists twitched. Or mad. The Arbiter's voice echoed. "Duel rules. Continue until submission or forfeit. Begin." Tharok sneered, his scales flashing. "Yield, human. Save your bones." Salira bowed, grinning. "Thanks, but I'm here to waltz." The klaxon screamed and Tharok surged, his forearms weaving the eclipse cascade. A torrent of strikes to shatter foes. Salira didn't block. She danced, slipping through gaps with parkour precision. Her drone, cloaked, scanned his movements, feeding data to her neural link. The crowd gasped. They'd expected a quick end, not this fluid evasion. Tharok shifted to the void helix, his arms a whirlwind of death. Salira cartwheeled, her drone whispering joint weaknesses. She tapped his elbows lightly, disrupting his rhythm. "Fight!" Tharok bellowed, his poise cracking. "I am," Salira said, vaulting over a strike that cratered the floor. "You're just noisy." Lorana leaned forward. "She's blending capoeira and tech. Brilliant." Krenz stared. "She's playing him." Salira's taps grew precise, targeting nerve points. Tharok's upper arm slowed, his strikes erratic. The Arbiter analyzed. Human tactics disrupt Drax's neural flow. Success probability, 48%. Tharok roared, unleashing the Star Shatter barrage, a forearm onslaught to crush. Salira dove inside his reach, her drone pulsing a micro-EMP. 2 arms went limp, and Tharok stumbled. The arena froze. Salira's voice was cool. "Engineering trick. Humans love a good hack." Tharok rallied, his lower arms slashing wildly. Salira flowed into a screamer, her forearms deflecting blows with minimal force. His balance faltered, his scales dulling. "This is improv," she said, redirecting a lunge to send him staggering. "Your strength's my lever." The crowd erupted. Lorana whispered, "She's rewriting the fight." Salira's eyes locked on Tharok's medal, glinting on his chest. "Yield!" "Never!" He gasped, charging. Salira spun low, her drone tripping his legs with a grav pulse. He crashed and she locked his arms in a modified Kali hold, her drone pinning his wrists. "Yield!" she repeated. Tharok's scales dimmed. "I yield!" The crucible exploded and Salira stood, medal in hand. The Starforge Academy's crucible thundered as Cadet Salira Chen released General Tharok Vin, slipping his medal of eternal triumph from his chest. She offered a hand, helping him rise. His 4 eyes blinked in disbelief, scales dull. The 70,000 spectators roared, a tide of shock and awe rippling galaxy-wide via hollow feeds. Instructor Lorana rushed to Salira, her scales shimmering. "Chen, you've shattered our dogma." Cadet Krenz, fists unclenched, nodded. "I mocked you. I was wrong." The Arbiter's voice cut through. "Human victory defies all models. Combat efficiency, 99%. Recommend doctrine overhaul." Tharok, steadying himself, met Salira's gaze. "How? Your drift tactics. They unmade me." Salira pocketed her drone, smiling. "Humans fight with brains, not brawn. We hack, we dance, we read your soul. You're a fortress. I'm a thief." Prime Warden. Zorith descended, silencing the arena. Cadet Chen, you've exposed our rigidity. Your methods are now conclave law. Speak. Celera faced the crowd, her voice a beacon. Strength isn't arms or scales. It's outthinking the odds. Humans don't break. We bend, then strike. Let me train your warriors. Zorith's eyes gleamed. You'll lead a cadre, as Symmetry's blade has required reading. The Arbiter added, human integration boosts conclave resilience by 78%. Chen promoted to instructor. Thurrock bowed, a warrior's respect. I was blind. Teach me, Chen. Celera grinned. First rule, expect the unexpected. That night, the academy buzzed. Cadets devoured Asymmetry's blade, shared via neural links. Krenz ran drift tactic sims, his movements fluid. Lorana proposed a course, human ingenuity in combat. The Arbiter detected a new probe signal from Nethera's core. Probability of renewed attack, 65%. Chen's tactics critical. Celera, briefed by Zorith, nodded. I'll lead a strike team. Thurrock volunteered. With you, instructor. The Academy's rigid order softened, infused with human spark. Celera's victory wasn't just a medal won, it was a mindset forged. Betting pools collapsed, and human applications surged 18,000%. Earth's makerspaces buzzed with Draxis and Xyla students grappling with Think Sideways. Celera stood in the crucible, now a training hub. A plaque read, Chaos's Cunning, M. Chen. Her legacy was a flame, proving humanity's wit could steal glory from the stars. The galaxy watched, and the Conclave would never underestimate a human again. The Starforge Academy's war room crackled as instructor Celera Chen briefed her strike team, 12 ships, including Cadet Krenz and General Thurrock Vin. Instructor Lorana projected a holofeed, a probe signal pulsing from Nethera's molten core. They're rebuilding, Celera said. We end them now. Thurrock's scales glinted. Your drift tactics, will they hold? Celera's grin was starlight. They'll dazzle. Fleet, stay wild. The Arbiter's voice was sharp. Signal source, cloaked probe nexus. Ambush probability, 82%. Human tactics, optimal. Prime Warden Zorith nodded. Chen, you command. The fleet jumped, emerging in Nethera's fiery core, molten asteroids swirling. Celera's sensors locked on the nexus, a writhing mass of probes. Trap central, she muttered. Fleet, fractal swarm. Move like you're dodging solar flares. Krenz's voice crackled. 6 probes uncloaking. Celera's instincts blazed. Drift mode. Split into duos. Weave like you're drunk on starshine. The fleet scattered, their movements a chaotic ballet. Probes fired, their beams sharper, but Celera's duos danced, evading with wild grace. Lorana, monitoring from the academy, whispered, She's a poet. The Arbiter analysed. Enemy targeting failing. Success probability, 88%. Celera hit the comms. Weapons, fire and jazz bursts. Mix it up. Engineering, fake a drive failure. The fleet's lasers and missiles struck in erratic rhythms, baffling the probes. One probe's core ruptured, Krenz's duo finishing it with a missile salvo. The nexus pulsed, broadcasting a distress call. They're calling backup, Celera said. Krenz, hack the nexus. Spoof their signal. Krenz's team breached the nexus's systems, sending a false retreat order. 2 probes faltered, exposing the nexus's heart. Lorana's voice rang. They're breaking. Celera grinned. Thurrock, lead a duo. Crack that core. Rest, cover him. Thurrock's ships dove, their chaotic strikes overwhelming the remaining probes. The Nexus's core sparked, then erupted in a silent blaze, its signal dead. The Arbiter reported. Threat eradicated. Human leadership, 96% success. Back at the Academy, Zorith met Celera's fleet. Instructor Chen, you've secured our stars. Celera shrugged. Just kept the beat. Krenz approached, eyes bright. I'm your disciple, Chen. Thurrock bowed. Your chaos is our shield. The Academy hummed, its warriors blending Drax's precision with human fire. Celera's strike team was a beacon, proof that wit could conquer might. The galaxy watched, and Earth's workshops buzzed with alien pupils chasing her spark. The Starforge Academy's Grand Hall shimmered as Prime Warden Zorith honoured instructor Salira Chen before thousands. General Tharok Vin, instructor Lorana, and Cadet Krenz stood proud, their faith in her a constellation. Zorith's voice resonated. Instructor Chen, your drift tactics saved us. You are the Conclave's dawn. Salira, in her grey jumpsuit, grinned, the medal of eternal triumph glinting on her chest. Thanks, Warden. Can I keep teaching chaos? Laughter echoed, a rarity in the hall. Zorith's scales gleamed. Your academy rises here. Train our future. The Arbiter declared. Chen's doctrine boosts conclave strength by 85%. Galaxy-wide adoption assured. Tharok bowed deeply. You stole my pride, instructor. I'm your student. Salira winked. Lesson 1. Embrace the unexpected. Lorana handed her a data crystal. Asymmetry's blade is in every war college. Cadets call it the Chaos Forge. Krenz's fists relaxed. I teach you Sims. They're alive. The ceremony closed with applause, not rigid but a vibrant wave, human-tinged. Salira's academy bloomed within the Starforge, its halls alive with wildcard drills and drift labs. Strategy rooms hosted chaos weaves, fusing logic and instinct. A makerspace, Salira's touch, sparked late-night innovation. Weeks later, Salira stood in her Chaos Forge, once the Null Vault, now a hub of creation. A plaque read, Wit outshines might, M. Chen. Cadets practiced parkour, their laughter a melody. Lorana joined her. The probe nexus is silent, but we watch. Your fleet's eternal. Salira nodded. Let 'em try, we'll dance. The Arbiter chimed. Conclave adaptability unmatched. Human spark integral. On Earth, workshops buzzed with Draxus and Xyla students wrestling with hack the odds. Human mentors grinned, teaching aliens to think sideways. The galaxy hummed. Human applications to the Starforge soared 20,000%. Betting pools on Salira's feats went bust. Salira gazed at Nethera's asteroids from her office. Krenz found her. You reshaped us, instructor. What's next? Keep spinning, Salira said, her grin a supernova. The stars crave chaos. The Starforge thrummed, its order now a tapestry of precision and fire. Salira's legacy was a revolution, not just a medal stolen, but a mindset that turned frailty into glory. The Conclave had deemed her powerless. Instead, she'd made them bow, proving humanity's spark could ignite the cosmos. In the archives, a note was carved. Si Chen, Salira. The day the Conclave learned to dance with chaos. The stars flickered, laughing at the brilliance of human cunning.